So here's the thing. When it comes to DevOps, we can think it's all about tools and automation, but really it's about changing the way that we work. And the way that it works is really, really very simple. It's just a matter of kind of just when there's a problem, just kind of say, screw it, and start over, right? And the thing that you have to understand is that you have to do everything exactly the way that Facebook's culture does, because that's how you can really be successful, because it works for them, so it's gonna work for your small company. Oh, yeah, that was kind of a controversial thing, but that's what being a thought leader is all about, is just sort of saying what everyone else is thinking, but to a really, really big audience who is just absolutely fascinated with what you have to say. So what you want to do is build your audience, say things that other people have thought about, and make fun of Docker all the time, and you too can be a DevOps thought leader.
So let's take off running and get some protective dogs and see what happens in this next slide, because by definition, we don't know. Speaking of Docker, I get to make fun of Docker too, and I didn't even have to try, because I get all these containers for free. Isn't that the best thing you ever heard? All these containers for free. No one's ever had to operate that before. That sounds like a great thing. It's going to make everything easier. And this deck was clearly meant for Paul, because I feel like he made that face when he talked about serverless ops, which isn't ops. It's not ops at all. It's serverless. There are no servers. It just runs in the cloud. In cold storage. Yes! Glacier storage, I can Amazon this up. I'm so happy about this right now. Oh, good, I get to run away. What a well-timed slide. If you want to hear more about Amazon, hit me up. I think it's your turn.
Hey, my name is Chris Corriere. I'm unemployed right now, but I'm also organizing DevOps Days Atlanta, which is where they're headed, because it's at the Georgia Aquarium this year. Everyone's invited, even the White Walkers in The Walking Dead. It's on mapping, DevOps, and serverless, which is a way you can get a helicopter on a yacht if you try hard enough. There's always money in all of those things, right? Like, we're seeing more demand on mapping, if you're not familiar with Wordly mapping, and serverless is on the rise, and I thought DevOps Days would be good for mainframes, but there's a good opportunity to pull these communities together and see what came out of it. Because we got to intentionally co-create our futures as technologists. And maybe we should rethink some of the decisions we've made in the past as we intentionally co-create our futures and where we want things to head. But, everything in their due time. Maybe mapping won't go away ever. Serverless might go away like the servers did. But we'll see what's next. Maybe I see you in Atlanta in April. I don't know.
I'm next. That's what's next. And someday, I too will make my wife proud by being on stage and talking to funny pictures. I will be a unicorn and do all the DevOps, like all the cool people that we heard about earlier. Or I'll just sit happily at home with my mustache, doing my remote work, trying to figure out whether or not I should wear pants while I deploy this code. I won't. I'll sit back and drink, because my code is automated all the way through. Once I deploy, everything is going to work, and I can just code and chill. Not the chill the kids talk about, but hardcore chilling. The kind of chilling that makes the operations people shudder. I am an operations person, which means when I code, I make them shudder. It's like being in operations and writing code is like trying to find that safe place with the birds. You got to keep your eyes closed because you don't know where you're going. And finally, everybody around you feels beefy and strong with the code, and they look at you like you have no business being there. It's all a dumpster fire.
Hello there. My name's Corey, and I'm going to tell you what it's like to work at big tech companies. Despite never having done it, that doesn't matter, because I'm a confident white man in tech. That's right. That's all it takes. Some companies are stranger than others, but let's start with Oracle. It's a terrific place to work. You get all the resources you'll ever need. You get to work with a huge team of coworkers if you're in legal. Jesus. Let's talk about the Fire Festival right now, which is Facebook's corporate culture. The lunches are being cut back because apparently all of their in-house ordering has been yanked away. When it turns out when you abuse Apple's policy, they yank enterprise certs, and it causes all kinds of issues. The trick there is to just play profoundly dumb and get really good at apologizing. We're sorry. If you're fast enough, you'll have the old one still up when the new thing comes out. Let's talk about the social life at Google. It's terrific if you're a robot and do well working with other robots. You get to work with a bunch of loud, screaming, spoiled children, so if that's you, you'll feel right at home. And the best part of all of it is you get to turn off legacy things constantly, where it doesn't matter. Once people fall in love with it, you turn it off. Google Plus, kidding, no one loved that. Google Reader, absolutely. Inbox, certainly. And Google Cloud, there's an exciting update coming on that next quarter. Thank you for listening to me. And remember, there's always money in the AWS 400.
Good afternoon, I'm Theo Salvo, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new AWS service called AWS Elastic Thank You Next. Now, it's very important that you understand exactly what this service does. It's a service that we've built on top of cloud computing in order to make sure that you're able to do everything cloudy cloud that you want to do for all of your cloud business. So it's important because in the cloud, there are no keyboards. So you just take that, throw that right off your desk. There is no need to have a keyboard whatsoever. You should also have someone staring at you intently while you throw away the keyboard. And in case you still remain the keyboard, this will happen to you. This is the dangers of keyboards. Our Elastic Cloud service is designed to prevent this from happening so that you can then sit down, relax, and look cool while wearing cat shades. It's very important that you make sure and have 3 of the cats in what looks to be a toilet sitting outside. Otherwise, you'll be known to do what I'm going to do tomorrow, and it's Death by PowerPoint, where I'm going to make you listen to me for exactly 30 minutes to talk about Elastic Cloud for cloud. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and remember, you can always do something one-handed.
Hello, my name is Eric. I'm doing a talk on Boolean and puppies today. So a lot of people don't realize that we're actually binary objects in ourselves. We're one, evidently, and we have 2 parents. We have 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-great-grandparents, 64 great-great-great-great-grandparents, 128 great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, 256 great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. We have 512 great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. We have 1028 great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. I'm going to run out of fingers here. We have 2048. Is that right? 48? 2048 great-great-great-great-great, sorry, I was counting, great-great-great-great-grandparents. So, you know, if you're like me and your family came over here on the earliest boats in 1636, know that it would have taken, I think, around 100,000 unique individuals to make you, and there was only about 10,000 people here. So we're all like peanut butter and jelly. We're inbred.